Houston Integrity, Splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed.
Copy Splashdown, waiting on VLDR.
Splashdown confirmed. Reed
at
Wiseman,
7:07
Victor Glover,
p.m. Central
Christina
Time,
Cook,
5:07
Jeremy
p.m.
Hansen
Pacific Time.
Return to the moon for the first time in 53
From the pages
years.
of Jules Verne to a modern-day mission to the moon, a new chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth.
10 incredible days that they had, just bringing us with them along for the ride. Glad to see them there. Of course, it's going to be a little while before we see them release that hatch.
And the landing and support officer reports the vehicle is stable 1. We still will be deploying the crew module uprighting system to maintain that orientation. A perfect bullseye splashdown for Integrity and its 4 astronauts.
How amazing is it that they can kind of center point exactly where this is going to land, to have those ships there to recover them. They said it's a 2-hour window to be able to get to them. Yeah. It's not going to take them 2 hours to get to them based off what we're seeing right now.
No, very, very precision landing. We even saw some thruster firings in one of those cameras there. You could see the plume of the thrusters to get them to exactly where they wanted to be as they drifted down. And should be pretty short time for recovery.
Dr. Platt, one of the things we haven't had a chance to really talk about is, of course, they're going to be assessed by medical crew when they get to the USS.
The unofficial splashdown time,
I would imagine
7:07 and 47 seconds p.m. Central Time. We'll get that refined for you. That would put the end of the mission at a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 31 minutes, 35 seconds.
Nothing like NASA being very precise. Sorry, I was just pausing for a moment because I wanted to make sure we heard Mission Control give the full journey length. But I would imagine they're going to be studying these astronauts for months and years to come, because it's been a long time since we've had humans that far away from Earth, and we want to know what happens to our body. What's different than the recent trips that we've seen with astronauts on the ISS, for example?
Sure, yeah. So low Earth orbit is where the International Space Station
Integrity Houston, contact
flies.
on VLDR.
So we're out here all the way out to 250,000 miles instead of just 250 miles from the Earth that the International Space Station is at. And so a big difference is the radiation environment. So the Earth's magnetic field actually protects astronauts on the International Space Station, so they're not exposed to the radiation
environment. Let's take a listen in. I think they're heading out to them.
Houston, copies all.
Reed Wiseman reporting 4 green crew members. That is not their complexion. That is the fact that they're in great condition. That's what that means. So stable 1, upright. The crew module uprighting system is being deployed. The 5 airbags being inflated through helium to maintain the upright configuration for the vehicle. This was a textbook entry and a textbook touchdown for Integrity. Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen back on Earth after a journey around the moon.
And of course, you're seeing those recovery crews, but there's choppers in the air. Dr. Platt was mentioning planes. There were divers out there, naval divers, just to make sure that everyone was safe out there, and then they'll be taken back to that naval ship for assessment.
So Dr. Platt, walk us through. Obviously, they've deployed some airbags so they can stabilize the Orion ship in the ocean. We're going to see those choppers, and then we're going to see people deploy from the choppers to get down there to them?
Right, exactly. And they're going to deploy this thing they call the front porch, which is essentially an inflatable raft. And that'll attach up to the side of the Orion capsule where they open the hatch. And then the astronauts can just walk onto this porch. That's why it's called the front porch. And then sit right down there so they don't have to go far at all. Kind of like door-to-door service here. And then they'll be brought back to the ship.
Monitor the functioning of the seamless system.
Because they might not be quite walking. It will depend on how they feel. You know, Mission Control was saying that Reed Wiseman given 4 green astronauts not leaving their condition, not sick or anything, but who knows if they can walk after 10 days.
No, you're right, you're right. And there have been astronauts
4
that
green
had
crew
real
members,
trouble
meaning they're all
after
in
a mission of
excellent
this
shape.
length.
And not only will they be picked up, they'll of course be picked up by the choppers, but just as important is that capsule, and that will be recovered on the ship. It's kind of like a garage, is my understanding?
Right, right. They'll pull that up, use cables to pull that up to the ship and attach it on board, because they're going to want to look at the heat shield. How well did it do compared to Artemis I? They're going to want to look at every little thing about that spacecraft and see if there are any changes they have to make to put into Artemis III for the next launch and then everything after that.
Firing the radio now. Go ahead.
I think we're going to hear from the astronauts in just a minute.
We see the beacon on. However, the recovery team is not seeing the signal. Your SAW radio uses the same antenna, so you may run into trouble with the radio.
Okay, copy. We are also powering up the sat phone now.